just need to reassemble.
What's up, comic book enthusiasts? My name is RBG and welcome to another Avengers Project update. Before I get into the discussion at hand, I just want to give a big thanks to all those who took time to watch and share the previous video. It's currently over 500,000 hits and counting, and it couldn't have gotten that massive reception without you guys, so thanks again. But anyways, the E3 2018 is merely weeks away, so we'll probably be getting our first glimpse of what the game has to offer during the Square Enix press conference. Now, a lot of you were pretty apprehensive about this particular title when I mentioned that Square Enix was involved, because they're one of the most ambitious game development studios out there. So ambitious in fact that they could literally take up to 10 years to produce one AAA title. Like, we're still waiting for more details on games like FF7 Remake and the official release date of Kingdom Hearts 3, not to mention some of the strange reasons they've been pretty adamant producing more add-on content for FF15, which has been out for 2.5 years now. So fans have every right to be wary about this game. But it's important to keep in mind that Square is also a publishing company with studios working under them, which just so happen to be manning the development helm on this game. So there's nothing to really worry about. As mentioned in the last video, Crystal Dynamics is working alongside some other top tier talent, and Eidos Montreal will also be outsourcing 50 workers from their team to help out. Hearing that bit of info should put you at ease, so don't worry about it, guys. Now, if there's one gameplay style I've noticed everyone's been mentioning, it's the fact that it could possibly be an open world MMO, which is kinda alarming in my opinion, because I believe this project could be way more ambitious than the latest trend in gaming. Like, I've noticed more and more each day that companies are producing titles that completely immerse themselves in the MMO genre. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I don't enjoy a good MMORPG, but the market has become oversaturated with them. Nowadays, they're very copy and paste, and if you're looking to further your experience, you have to fork over extra cash for things like expansion packs. And just knowing that players are out there grinding for XP will most likely discourage others from playing the story just so they can get right into leveling up their own character. You know, things like that. If this does in fact turn out to be an MMORPG, I hope to the gaming gods it comes out on the PC. Speaking of the PC, I'm proud to announce that this particular upload is sponsored by Malno. They're one of the most well-known companies when it comes to gaming, supplies, gaming mouses, and much more. Since you guys have supported this channel, I've linked up with Malno to give you their brand new gaming mouse for free. It features a high FPS rate, 7 different switches such as the right and left button, an adjustable DPI, micro switches backed with LED lights, and much more. As I mentioned earlier, you can get this mouse absolutely free. All you gotta do is pay for the shipping and handling, which totals around a measly $5. The link will be in the description box below, so make sure you jump on that while the offer lasts. But getting back on topic in regards of gameplay, I think it's assumed that if we do get an MMO Avengers game, it'll still be ambitious. The Marvel Universe is a very unique one, comprised with a plethora of heroes and villains, and playing in a shared world experience will be nothing short of amazing. You know, I can see myself roaming the streets of New York and gradually working my way up to places like Planet Xandar. The possibilities are infinite. But I just feel like an MMO is one of those things where it feels like we've essentially been there and done that. We've had tons of MMORPGs like Marvel Heroes, where we play with all our favorite Marvel characters with action RPG mechanics, and that turned out to be a hot mess riddled with its pay-to-win tactics and microtransactions. I know one of the most popular comments I've been seeing floating around the community is that fans want to see something in the same realm as the Ultimate Alliance games, which is pretty reasonable because that was a pretty interesting gameplay style that I don't think gets enough credit for its innovativeness. I mean, we're talking about a gimmick that goes way back to the X-Men Legend games, which is pretty much the predecessor. If you think about it, Raven Software did an excellent job provoking the player to experiment with different team-ups and use their comic book knowledge to see who works well with who. We're talking a robust roster of different Marvel characters here, with a few missing like the Punisher, who is currently owned by THQ. Granted, that game did have glaring issues such as the wonky camera angles that completely takes you out of the action at times. I cannot count how many times it felt like a cluttered up gangbang of different attacks that I couldn't see. So yeah, it was a pretty solid gem that essentially needed a bit more polishing, which we somewhat got with Ultimate Alliance 2. They kind of fixed some of the bad camera angle issues to where you could actually see the details on the characters, and the special attack add-ons were largely better than the ones we got in the previous installment. Fans have been asking for an Ultimate Alliance 3 for quite some time now, and they believe that this new Avengers project could possibly answer their prayers. If Crystal Dynamics does in fact revitalize that gameplay mechanic, I don't think Marvel will allow them to call it Ultimate Alliance 3, simply because that was something that was created by another publisher, being Activision, and they probably want to get as far away from that brand as possible. The most that we can expect is that they will borrow mechanics from popular titles like the LEGO Marvel Superheroes franchise. You know, games that pack everything from the familiar to the more obscure corners of Marvel lore. You might find yourself being blocked off from certain parts of stages, but can later gain access to those parts after acquiring specific characters. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that I hope they don't force us to play with some generic custom character, because that's what hurt games like X-Men Destiny. Like, just give us as many iconic characters to toy around with as possible. Now, my hopes are that Crystal Dynamics gives us a game that actually utilizes each member of the Avengers' abilities. For example, if I want to use a character like Black Widow, the gameplay would have stealth and espionage style. Like, it'd be so cool sneaking around highly armed facilities and taking out guards with her signature moves and accessories. Since Crystal Dynamics works on the Tomb Raider series and Laura specializes in shooting arrows, we could get some sick Hawkeye action. Considering the fact that this project harps on the word reassemble, it makes me think that we'll be tasked with playing each character and bringing the group back together. Just looking at the trailer, you can just tell that who or whatever it is that the Avengers are facing off against is a very powerful enemy. Hell, for all we know, there could be multiple villains. If anything, we know this Avengers project will have a lot of replayability since Square says it'll be a game that players can enjoy for years to come. And I think it further implies that they're gonna be doing something that's not part of your typical Marvel universe. Similar to how Insomniac is dealing with Spider-Man, where we're essentially dealing with a seasoned version of Peter Parker. They could be throwing us into a universe that's familiar yet new. One thing that I failed to talk about in my previous video is the potential graphics engine Crystal Dynamics will be using. The most likely candidate will be the Unreal Engine 3, since that seems to be the standard of all graphics kits nowadays. One of the key components developers have been able to take advantage of are the facial expressions and performance captures. And there's the newly announced Unreal Engine 4 that takes everything from its predecessor and dials it up to 11. You have games like Hellblade that showcase the different levels of detail and lighting that UE4 can produce. So those are just some of the first couple of options Crystal could use. There's also a possibility that they will opt to work with their own in-house engine called the Foundation engine, which is basically the same graphics engine they use to produce their new Tomb Raider games, including their upcoming Shadow of the Tomb Raider title. It has a host of awesome features like the physically based material system, image-based lighting, deformable snow, and many other features. So that's another one of those engines that has a high chance of being used to develop the Avengers project. Now, those particular engines are all fine and dandy, but I'm pushing for Square to use their latest creation, the Luminous engine. It's one of the most powerful engines out right now and boasts a ton of features that would take me at least 2 videos to name off. A few years back, we bared witness to its power through a tech demo called Agni's Philosophy. It ran at 60 frames per second and pushed 10 million polygons per frame with approximately 300 to 400,000 polygons for each character model, which is insane. Like, we're talking real-time graphics that has quality similar to a pre-rendered CGI cutscene. After being in development limbo and rebranding to the next gen, Final Fantasy XV will use the lighting technology from Luminous along with a purpose-built priority gameplay engine. It also allowed them to render real-time scenes with 5 million polygons per frame, with each character models made up of 100,000 polygons each. So if there's any engine that needs to be used to show off the Avengers in all their epic glory, it's that one. Since Marvel Entertainment is talking about hiring different developers to work in unison with Crystal and Eidos, that means we can get more of Square's top guys to work with them. Word around the campfire is that the lead developer of FF15, Hajime Tabata, is completely done with the game. And as of March 2018, it's been revealed that he's created a studio under Square called Luminous Productions, which consists of several key members from the Final Fantasy XV team. So maybe, just maybe, Square could possibly get him on board for the game or outsource some of his team. But anyways, Square has officially announced that on Monday, June the 11th at 10 AM Pacific, that they'll be live streaming their E3 showcasing on sites like YouTube and Twitch. Considering the fact that we only got a little taste of what this Avengers project entails, they'll most likely unveil something new. I'm guessing that the name Avengers Project is nothing more than a temporary placeholder. Like, I think it would change based on the overall gimmick of the game. And this should be one of their biggest showcases besides FF7 and KH3. Like, the guys at Crystal Dynamics and Eidos has blatantly come out and said that this is the biggest title they've been working on budget-wise. And they've mentioned that they're currently in the process of working on 3 other titles, so there's a small chance that some of those will be showcased. But anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. What do you think about this news? Do you think Square will finally give us an idea what the Avengers project will be about at E3? And do you think they should adopt gameplay mechanics from games like Ultimate Alliance and LEGO Superheroes? Hit me up in the comment section below. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help me improve on future content. But if you really enjoyed the video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it on social media platforms with all your friends and followers. I love what I do and I do it all for you guys. But once again, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.